Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Stuart Victor Echo 9 Charlie Foxtrot, and welcome back to the Canadian Maritimes. Mixed bag of weather. We just had a little bit of snow, now the sun's out. Typical March in the Maritimes. Anyway, today's video is a public service announcement for all you hams out there who are looking to buy or sell equipment on the online swap and shops. So in Canada, we have a website called hamshack.ca. In the Maritimes, we have a site called the Maritime Swap Shop, ran by VE1PJS, I do believe. Anyway, today is a story about my experience last night. Yesterday I posted I'm looking for a second Yaesu FTDX10. So I've been getting a lot of inquiries, a lot of them through official hamshack.ca channels, which are fine. I think I got one lined up now. But last night I got a text message from a guy with a Kitchener-Waterloo cell phone number. So I said, that's nothing abnormal. He actually did try to call me too, and when I answered, it just kind of cut off. So he texted me, asked me if I was still in the market for FTDX10. And of course I said, yeah, sure, I'm in the market. What do you got? So he went on to tell me that he has an FTDX10 for $1,000. Well, that's a great deal, I said. Normally they're like $2,000 brand new. So I started asking basic questions, how old is it? What's wrong with it? Those type of things. Then I said, my cybersecurity background kicked in and said, okay, well, let me verify this thing is legit. So the first thing it is asking for is call sign. He gave me a call sign. I went on QRZ and looked it up. Went on the Canadian Amateur Call Sign site, looked it up. Then I went and said, what's your name? Gave me his name. That all checked okay. Said, okay, well, my dad lives in the area that you're in, because although his phone number was in Kitchener-Waterloo, he gave me an address in another place 6 hours away. And I said, my dad lives in that area. I'll get him to swing by and pick it up. No response. He said, well, if you give me $500 now, and you can give me $500 when I ship it. I said, because I said, if my dad doesn't feel like coming to pick it up, I'll just get you ship it to me. He said, but I got to know tonight because I'm leaving to go to work tomorrow. I'm flying out to go to work, and I want to ship this out, tomorrow morning. I said, well, that's kind of odd. You don't want to get it out right away. I mean, I can understand if you're flying away for months, right, and not coming back. Something odd just started to sink in here. So I went, okay, give me the address. I looked it up. I went on Google Maps. I looked it up on Google Maps. I saw there was a big tower at that address. I said, okay, well, that looks somewhat legit, but it still could be kind of fishy. But the urgency thing got me, right? He says, well, how about this? Send me $300 now and $700 when you get it. Even more fishier now, right? So I said, well, I won't do a deal unless we have a phone conversation. Knowing that his previous call was cut off and his other text message said that he doesn't have good cell coverage. I said, but you can always find half decent coverage for enough for a quick telephone call. So he called me, wanted to have, some, chit chat with him to make sure it was legit, right? So I asked him how old the radio was. He said he's had it for a while. He says, is there anything wrong with it? He says, no, it works. I says, what did you use it for? Or how long was it since you used it? He just kept giving me short answers. So I thanked him and I said, you know what, I'm not really interested, because it started to smell really funny. First off, it was significantly reduced. I just got another one this morning. A guy wanted to sell me one for $2,100. So his price was really, really reduced. Anyone can go look up a ham radio call sign on the ISED database and get an address and all that. It's not private information. It's readily available to the public. When I talked to him on the phone, a normal ham, if they tell me, hey, what do you use the radio for, would give me some answers like, I used it for contesting or hunting POTA, or, I used to check into nets, that kind of stuff. Just not here and there, or why aren't you using it anymore? Well, I lost interest in it. If I said, hey, why are you selling the radio? An average person would say, you know what, I just bought myself a Yaesu FTDX10 or I bought an ICAM 7300 and this is a backup rig and I don't have a need for it anymore, so I want to get rid of it. Just a typical answer like that. Just the whole thing smelt funny. My caution to you today is, before you buy anything through an online swap and shop or, ham radio swap meet, virtual ham radio swap meet site, do your homework. Make sure the person that you're buying from is legit. Because one thing I know in this world, as coming from the IT background that I did, there's a lot of scammers out there. And scammers will stop at nothing to scam you. And since the ham radio crowd is like me, old guys mostly, we're a little bit more trusting and a little bit more, sometimes if I look at my own family, sometimes we're just a little bit too gullible to deals online. So scammers will prey on this vulnerable community, and they'll prey on ham radio guys. Obviously, this guy, I don't know if he was a scammer, it was legit, it didn't smell right. Didn't pass my smell test. So anyway, buyer beware, do your homework. If the guy's local to you, go and see it. If it's across the country, I started asking friends that I knew in the area if they heard of this guy, and Nobody can say, hey, I know this ham. Nobody could tell me that. So it just had some funny smelling kind of features to it. Anyway, buyer beware. Do your homework before you buy anything online. You know, just be careful out there. I'm Stuart, Victor Echo 9, Charlie Foxtrot. See you guys in another video.